Welcome once again to We the People, a new birth of freedom. Thanks for stopping by. Please tell your friends, your relatives, your associates, your neighbors, whoever. Encourage them to subscribe, and please leave your comments below. I'll get back to you. Well, some people feel that the Second Amendment is unreasonable in the 21st century. Some believe that it should be repealed or replaced. Some feel we've outgrown it because, besides, we don't have muskets anymore. And since we've got this great military power, we've got the National Guard, we've got police officers, we don't need it. Well, it just so happens that your opinion is not worth the dung of a cat. I know you're sincere. I know you look around, you see all the tragedies that take place. I see the same thing you do. But that has nothing to do with trying to take the liberty and the freedom away from law-abiding citizens. As you've heard me mention before, you never hear the news media broadcast that millions times millions of Americans that own firearms never committed a crime today. You don't hear that. But as soon as something happens tragic that we've had just recently, oh, they want to sensationalize that. Yes, it's horrible. Yes, it's terrible. But that's why we have laws of prosecution for those that violate the life, the liberty, and the pursuit of happiness of other people. That's the purpose of laws and legislation of laws, to prosecute those who violate freedom, to punish those who violate liberty and the lives of others and the pursuit of happiness of others. That's why we legislate laws, not to take freedom away. It's very simple, people. Politicians think they have to legislate laws to curb liberty because some people just can't handle it. So, well, let's legislate more laws. That'll bring more stability and peace to society. No, it doesn't. You want me to tell you the greatest force of mass violence that's ever been on the face of the earth? Not a school shooter, not a person that goes into Wal-Mart, McDonald's, or any other place of business and starts firing away. Those aren't the most dangerous, deadly entities that are out there. Let me tell you who they are. Governments. Governments have killed more people than any individual with any type of firearm. Governments, all the way back to Egypt, all the way back through history, they have slaughtered more people by the millions times millions and billions of people. Corrupt governments, tyrannical governments, totalitarian governments, headed up by dictators and despotic leaders, tyrants, evil to the core, who exercised all their political and religious power to stamp out people that would not bow to their agenda. Hey, that's what the King of England wanted to do to our founding fathers. You realize that, don't you? In the previous video, as I mentioned, our founding fathers to the King of Britain was fugitives. They were fugitives and outlaws. They needed to be killed because they would not subject themselves to the king's law. That's the way politicians are today. They want to establish laws that they can manipulate and control free individuals. Well, you can't do it. We will become outlaws and fugitives in contemporary times should you try to strip us of the liberty and the pursuit of happiness given to us, or should I say made aware by our founding fathers. They didn't give us anything. They just wanted us to be made aware of what we actually had, what was born within us, what was intrinsic inside of us. Some people say, well, the Second Amendment is no longer needed because of all this military power that we have, and the police, as I said, the police department, the National Guard, we don't need it anymore. Let's just do away with it. Well, and besides, no individual has the right to own a fully automatic weapon. Well, that's a lie. That's a total lie. You see, the Second Amendment is very clear. A well-regulated militia, and you can squeeze that thing till you can get some kind of interpretation out of it to suit your needs, but it means what it says, and it's all set in history. A well-regulated militia was not a government military force. It was private citizens who were well-trained, law-abiding, well-disciplined. It's very simple. You don't need to go to Yale and Harvard. The words in the Declaration of Independence, the Constitution, the Bill of Rights was for any man, woman, or child to understand. Profound, but very simple to understand. Just let the words speak for themselves. A well-regulated militia, private individuals, American citizens, being necessary for the security of a free state, the right of the people, not the right of the government. The government can't give the right, and it's not the right of the government. Of course, the government has a right to military armaments, but this is a right given to the people, that they know that they have this intrinsic right. It's actual. It's not peripheral. It's not imaginative. It's not politicized. It's actual. It's intrinsic. The right of the people to keep and bear arms for what? To keep and bear arms for what? To protect their state, their personal lives, the lives of their families, their property, their possessions, their land, etc., etc. Shall not be infringed. What part of that don't you understand? Shall not be infringed. That means that when guns begin to evolve in the 19th century, and we went from muskets to lever actions to repeaters, right on into fully automatics, that means that we have a right to keep and bear arms. Not just muskets. Then how come, if your theory, I should say, is correct, then why, when the 19th century had such an explosion of evolution of firearms, why didn't our early founding fathers jump on the bandwagon and say, oh, whoa, we got to replace and repeal the Second Amendment because firearms are getting out of hand? The evolution of firearms it's going too fast. We didn't mean for the people to own these type of firearms. We just meant for them to own muskets. All armaments have evolved, my stupid friend. You know, back in that day, the military basically had cannons and muskets. Well, today we've got nuclear power. So what gives the government the right to progress, to be able to defend us as a nation? What gives them the right, above and beyond ourselves as individuals, to progress in the ownership of firearms as they've evolved? We have a right to any kind of firearm that's out there. The Second Amendment says so. You think our founding fathers were stupid? Read history. They had more insight. In fact, the things they spoke about in our founding documents are more clear today than they've ever been. As we see tyrants raising up trying to gut out, replace, reform the Second Amendment, now it's time for us to stand up and defend our rights as they did in the founding of this great nation. Read history. And again, if you don't like this nation, go somewhere else. If you think Australia has better gun laws, go there and live. If you think France, Italy, Germany, any of the European nations, Africa, wherever, Iran, Iraq, if you think they've got better gun laws and a better political system, please leave this country and go and leave us alone. We're Americans, this United States of America. In fact, I think these socialists and globalists and these anti-American, anti-Bill of Rights politicians, they need to be tried for treason. In fact, I think if our founding fathers were here, they would try them for treason. Your signature's not on those founding documents. None of the leaders of these other countries, their signature wasn't on these founding documents. This is ours, uniquely ours. An independent, sovereign United States of America. Independent, sovereign citizens of the United States of America. You can't get that? Well, My kindest suggestion is just leave. Leave us alone. We're not going anywhere. We live by those founding documents. We will die by those founding documents, just as many before us did also. So it's your choice. Till next time, be an American, and God bless.